Welcome to Naresh IT Technologies. This is Ramachandra. In this video, especially I am going to be talk about how many ways can we load data dynamically in Java language. Our topic is how many ways can we load data dynamically from keyboard. Here there are 7 ways to read the data from the keyboard dynamically. The first one is command line argument, and the second one is java.io.buffered reader, and the third one is java.util.scanner class, and the fourth one is java.io.data input stream, and the fifth one is java.io. One more predefined class, that is what? Console. And one more class is system.get.property method. One more method is get property. And one more thing is by using swing or AWT or applet concept. Swing or ability or applet concept. By using these 7 ways, we can read the data dynamically from the keyboard. Now observe here. First, in this video, I am going to talk about how to read the data from the command prompt dynamically. Now here I am taking one paint. So here the first one is command line argument. What is meaning of command line argument? Meanwhile of writing program execution syntax, if you are sending any value, those values we can call as command line arguments. If we want to compile any program in Java language, we are always using what? Javac file name.java. If you want to execute the program, what we are using? Java class name. This is a common way to execute the program. Now what is command line argument? Meanwhile of writing program execution syntax, if you are sending any data, this data we can call as what here? Command line arguments. Nothing but this 100 and ram and true, all these values we can call as what? Command line arguments. Now here, with the help of the Java command, we can interact with whom? JVM. JVM is going to be interact with what here? These command line arguments, and these command line arguments will be read by the JVM. After reading these command line arguments, JVM is going to be placed within the one method, that is what here? Public static void main. So within the main we have string array. In the string array variable like what here? S. Whatever the data which we read by the JVM, the data will be placed into variable S. So here S is an what? String variable. So it is always holding more than one value. So here more than one value is nothing but how many values? 3 values. So the first value is 100, and the second value is ram, and third value is what here? True. And every array index starts with what? 0 index position. This is the 0 index position, and the next one is what here? First index position, and next one is what here? Second index position. So who will pointing this? All memory locations. All these memory locations are pointing by the variable S. Now whatever the values we are sending from the command prompt, those values are reading by the JVM. After reading, these values are placed into our main method reference variable. Here I am taking S. So all these values are placed into array like S. So whatever the value we are sending first, that value will be placed into where here 0 index position. So I'm sending the second value like RAM, that value will be placed into where here first index position. This RAM and 100 and true, all these three values we can call as what? Command line arguments. Now observe here, let me explain this concept with the help of one program. Now in the meanwhile of highlighting that program, we are going to be face different exceptions. How to handle those exceptions also we are going to be learning in this particular video. Now for developing one program, I am taking one notepad. Okay, here I am writing one small program, that is class command line argument. If you want to execute any program in Java, commonly we required one main method, public static void main. So public static void main contains a string array. Here I am taking variable name as what here? R. Now in previous paint I am taking variable name as S. So here is also I am taking what here? S variable, but not a mandatory. You can take any variable name but meaningful. Now here I am just printing system dot out.println command line argument program. Let me save this program. CLA.java. My save as type is what here? All files. I am saving all these. I am saving this class within the desktop. Now I am saving it. Yes. Let me go to desktop. Yes. This is my CLA.java file. Now after that, if you want to execute the program, definitely we are taking what here? One command prompt. This is our command prompt. In this command prompt, I need to navigating from C directory to desktop. How can we navigating from C directory to desktop? Observe here, CD desktop. Now we have, I'm going to be compiling Java program CLA.java. Yes, compile it. Now Java CLA. So here one small spelling mistake, that is what here? String, string. Now let me compile one more time. Java C CLA.java. Yes, successfully compiled. And after that Java CLA. But my requirement is I want to read the values dynamically. How can we read the values dynamically? By using the concept like command line arguments. Now whatever the values we are sending from the command line, nothing but from the screen. So here I am writing like Java CLA. In the paint I told you already 100 RAM. After that what? True. So whatever the values I am sending, meanwhile of a program execution, those values we can call as command line arguments. Here 100 and RAM and true, these values we can call as what here? Command line arguments. Yes. If I am click on enter button, what happened? All these values 100 and RAM and true will be read by the JVM. After reading these values, what JVM will doing? It will be placed into where? Yes. Maybe S variable. Maybe you got some idea or some doubt like, sir, here you are sending like 100, nothing but int. You are sending like true, nothing but boolean. You are sending like RAM, nothing but string. How can we able to hold both string data, boolean data, integer data within the help of with the help of string array variable? No, it is not possible. But observe guys, here 100 it is not a integer value. Here RAM it is a string. Here true it is not a boolean value. Whatever the data we are sending from the command prompt, all this data is coming in the format of what here? String. Now let me go to this paint. Here 100 RAM true will be read by the JVM in the format of what? String. In the format of what here? String data. For example, JVM reading the 100 value, but internally it will convert it into what here? Within the double quotes 100. The JVM reading the RAM, it will internally convert it into what here? Collection of characters, nothing but string. JVM will reading the value like what? True, in the form of what? Double quotes true. So whatever the thing we are writing within the double quotes, always it is coming in the format of what? String only. Now this is very important point. Now observe here, I'm sending the values from the command prompt to Java application, but I'm not getting any output. Why? I'm holding the data. I means here JVM placing RAM 100 and true into the yes, but I'm not printing. How can we print the data? Observe. RAM will be placed, 100 will be placed into where? S of 0. And RAM will be placed into where? S of 1. And true will be placed into where? S of 2. So instead of printing directly, let me take these values into some variables. String s1 equal to s of 0. And next one, string s2 equal to s of 1. And next one, string s3 equal to s of 2. After taking like this, let me go and print the s1, s2, s3. How? System dot out dot println s1. And after that, control C, control V, and one more time control V. Yes. Now here I am printing S2 data, and after that I am printing what here? S3 data. Now guys, observe here, the same program I am going to be executed. One more time, compile. If you are doing any modification, compilation is mandatory. Java C CLA.java. Yes, successfully my program compile, and Java CLA. Now here I am passing 100 and RAM, another one is what here? True. Now what happened? 100 will be placed into where? 100 will be placed into S of 0. RAM will be placed into S of 1. True will be placed into where here? S of 2. After that what I am doing? Whatever the value which we have in the S of 0, those value I am placed into where here? S1. Whatever the value which we have in the S of 1, I am placed into where? S2. As usual, S of 2 value I am placed into where? S3. And finally, I am going to be print the data on the console. Yes. So, every time not only sending 100 RAM and false, what is our concept? Reading the values dynamically. Dynamically means maybe in different execution time we can send what? Different values. Our concept is how many ways can we load data dynamically. Dynamically means at runtime. Maybe same data, maybe different data. So in the real time we are always working with what? In different execution time we are always working with different data, nothing but different types of data. Maybe whatever the type it may be, the data is always coming. If you are sending in the command prompt, the data is always coming in the format of what? A string only. Now whatever the data we are sending, 100 RAM true, the same data will come and sit in the variable like what? Yes. Now one more time I am going to be executed. One more time, Java C CLA.java, just compile, and after that CLA. Now here I am sending 100, here I am sending 200, here I am sending what? 300. Here I am sending what here? 300. Now if I am executing the program, what happened? 100 will be placed into S of 0, 200 will be placed into S of 2, 300 will be placed into S of 2, this is S of 1, this is what here? S of 0. Now in the previously, I am sending values like what? True, RAM, 100. Here 300, 200, 100. That means we can send same values as well as we can send what here? Different values. That is the advantage of what? Command line argument. So if you directly mention values like 100, RAM, false in the program, we are always communicating with what? Same data. But my requirement is I want to communicating with a different data. The first one is, and basic one is command line argument. So whenever we working with the command line argument, we need to concentrate on different problems which are raised in this program. What are the different problems? How many values I am trying to read here? 3 values from S of 0, S of 1, S of 2. Now guys, observe here, meanwhile of executing the program, I am not sending any values. Then we will get one exception like java.lang.array index out of bound exception, index position is what here? 0. That means I am not sending any value. If I am not sending any value from the command prompt, JVM is unable to place the data into where? S of 0. If there is no data, but still I am trying to read, that's why we will get what here? Array index out of bound exception. Second time, here I am sending here NIT. So NIT is suitable for S of 0, but still we have a problem with 1 and 2. So in the second time what I'm doing, I'm sending like what here, KIT, Karthik Technology. So here in this time what happened, again we are facing the problem, array index out of bound 2. The reason is without placing any value into the SF2, I'm trying to read. Assigning means what here? First I'm trying to read the data from the SF2 index position, later I'm placed into where? S3. So there is no value in the SF2. How can I able to read? It is not possible. So finally we must and should be send what here? All the values. Here I'm sending RAM. Now NIT will be placed into S of 1, nothing but here S of 0, KIT will be placed into S of 1 and S of 2 will be holding what here? RAM. This is what here? A common error we are going to be face. Now after that, my requirement is whenever we sending the data from the command line argument, I want to hold it and I want to do some addition functionalities. Nothing but, for example, if I am sending the data like 100, 200, 300, all this data will be coming to where here? This S of 0, S of 1, S of 2. For example, if I am writing like S of 1, S1 plus S2, S2 plus S3, what is my output? Observe here, if you are doing any modifications, we need to compile the program and save it and compile, and as well as we need to execute. Now here I am writing 100, 200, 300. So what is the output? 100, 200, 300. String plus anything is comes under what? String only. Anything plus string is comes under again what here? String only. So nothing but string always provide what? Concatenation functionality. But my requirement is addition functionality. If you want to get the addition functionality, we should go for conversions. So here just our program purpose I am highlighting one conversion. If you want to convert string data to integer data, we have one wrapper class. In the wrapper class we have one method, what is that? ParseInt. So S1. Now again yes. Now here I am taking the variable names like what? B. Here I am taking the variable names like what? C. And here S3. Here S2. After that finally what I am doing? I am just printing A, B, C values by addition, by using the plus operator, A plus B plus C. Now observe guys, here just I am saving. Now I am compile the program. If you are doing any modification, we need to compile Java C, CLA dot Java. After that Java CLA. So same input data I am sending 100, 200, 300. Previously I am sending 100, 200, 300. Now in this time also I am sending 100, 200, 300. Now guys observe here, previous output is 100, 200, 300 concatenation. Here is also I am getting what here? Concatenation. But also here I am getting what? Addition. So how we are getting the addition? I am converting string data to integer data. Here S1 I am converting into int, S2 also int, S3 is also int. Int plus int plus int. I am always getting the output like what here? Int. Then only we are getting the output here 600. Here I am getting the output like 600. Here they are getting the output like what here? 100, 200, 300. Good. Now in this approach we maybe face one problem. What is that problem? Now observe here. Instead of sending, I am sending 100, 200, 300. In the place of 300 just I am sending RAM. What happened? We are facing one exception like java.lang number format exception. Why we are getting number format exception here? See, but initially we are getting some output 100, 200 RAM, 100, 200 RAM and a concatenation we are getting. But why I am getting the exception here? Very simple. 100 will be placed into where? S1. And 200 will be placed into where? S2. And RAM will be placed into where here? S3. So after that I am printing S1, S2, S3. Nothing but 100, 200, 100, 200 and RAM will be printed. And the last one is what? Concatenation. This is also happen happily. Now after that what I am doing? numerical, here S1 is nothing but within the double quotes 100 will be coming. So with the help of the %, we can converting a string representation into what here? Numerical representation. Again with the help of the %, we can convert double quotes 200 will be converted into what here? Normal 200. Now S3 contains what here? RAM. Then how can I convert it into numeric? Character data never be converted into what here? Numeric. So in this time we are facing the problem. In this line we are facing the problem. We required integer type data. But what type of data I am sending? String type of data I am sending. That's why we will get one exception like what here? Number format exception. Character string never be converted into, character type string never be converted into numeric. Nothing but here int. So these are the two major exception we are going to be facing command line argument. The first one is java.lang.array index out of bound exception, and the second one is java.lang number format exception. Now here let me highlight the drawback of the main drawback of command line argument. Here my requirement is I want to read boolean data. After reading the boolean data I want to convert it into boolean type. So boolean b equal to, if you want to converting string data into the boolean, we have one method, that is what boolean dot parse boolean. Boolean dot parse boolean of S1. See, this is a very internal point I am going to be highlighting. Observe. After that, system dot out dot println of b. Observe. Now in the previous program we are facing one problem. What is that? Character string never be converted into numeric. Nothing but string never be converted into what here? Int. Now in this time what happened? Java C CLA dot let me clear the screen. Okay. Now Java C CLA dot Java, successfully I am compiled this program. One small error, spelling mistake. What is that? Parse boolean. Yes. Now going to be compile again Java C CLA dot Java. After that Java CLA. I am here in this my program. I am reading only one value. So here I am sending one value. What is that? True. What is my output? True. Very happy. If I am sending value like false, what I am getting? False only. Now if I am sending RAM, guess it, what type of problem we are going to be facing here? So everybody expecting, yes, no character string never be converted into integer. So here is also what here? Character string never be converted into boolean. Why? Boolean holds what here? Either true or false. But here I am sending what? RAM. We are expecting in this place. We are expecting in this place what here? Exception. What happened? Are you getting the exception? No. We are getting what? False. That means, so whenever we sending other than boolean data, I want to get a proper exception details, but I am not getting any proper exception details. Blindly it will showing what? False. Simply we can say, whenever we reading the data from the command line argument related to boolean, if you are sending true, then only it will give the output like true. Other than true, if you are giving anything 100, 200, false, RAM, Varun, NIT, KIT, whatever the value you are giving, every time it will giving what here? False. But it will not giving any proper exception message. I require proper exception details. Then what should we do? We should go for one more concept like what here? Java.lang.scanner class. That is the first drawback. With the help of the command line argument, we are facing the first drawback is we are not getting proper exception information related to boolean type. That is the first drawback. Now what is the second one? The second one is, observe here. For example, in my program I am reading 100 values. S of 0, S of 1, S of 2, S of 3 up to so on 100 values. So whenever we reading 100 values from the program, then what should I do? I need to send the 100 in the command prompt. So whenever we entering the 100 values in the command prompt, each and every time we need to calculate 1, 2, 3, 4 values. So remembering the number of values which we are going to be entering, that is what here difficult. So what is my intention is, the second drawback is we need to recognize number of values. After that, one more major drawback. What is that? Meanwhile of sending the values, sometimes we are getting the exception. If the type is not matched, we were getting what? Number format exception. So every time I need to recognize those 100 values types. So remembering or recognize 100 values, nothing but simply we can say type of values are difficult. Recognize the type of values or type of data is very difficult. The first one is we are not getting any proper exception details related to boolean type, and second one is we need to recognize the number of values, and third one is we need to recognize the type of values. Okay, the one more drawback related to command line argument, we need to write conversion logic every time. We need to write conversion logic. So totally how many drawbacks? 4 drawbacks. One is boolean, related to boolean we are not getting proper exception details. Second one is we need to remember the what here values, and third one is we need to remember the type of the values, and fourth one is what is that? We need to write the conversion logic. For example, 100 values I am reading, every time writing integer dot parse into boolean dot parse into boolean, double dot parse double, it is very difficult to the programmer. To avoiding all this process, we should go for the next concept, that is what here I am highlighting first, java.util.scanner class. So here I am giving a quick review on top of this video. There are 7 ways to read the data dynamically from the keyboard. Among these 7 ways, first I am highlighting what here? Command line argument. Command line argument means what? Meanwhile of writing the program, if you are sending any values, those values we can call as what here? Command line arguments. Those values are always coming in the format of string. Those values are read by the JVM and placed into where string array variable of main method. Understand? In this command line argument we are facing 4 problems. We are not getting any proper exception details related to boolean, and we are facing the problem like what? We need to remember the number of values and as well as type of values, and finally programmer itself writing the conversion logic. To avoiding all this process, we should go for the concept like what here? java.util.scanner class. In the next video we are going to be highlighting the concept related to what here? Scanner class. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.